broadcast and let you know. Thanks for being here this morning. I came to work this morning, rolled in around 6:30, trekked up to my office, only to find that snowpocalypse had had its way with our roof and my whole office on the other side soaking wet. So here we are. We just moved over, and we've been in here before, I think. So this is our other studio, but it's a little bit wonky in terms of being able to present things, and the space is a little bit different, so I'm going to do the best I can. But just hang with us. Now, one thing that came up is that we used to be able to broadcast live in the Get Organized Challenge group. Well, Facebook, excuse me, Facebook changed the rules for whatever reason. You can't use a third-party platform, live stream, which is the other way that we broadcast, and also broadcast into a group. So if you are or hear about people who can't find us on the Get Organized Challenge group live, you just have to bop over to the Totally-Tiffany Facebook page. I think it's Totally-Tiffany Organization or something like that. There's links all over the place. So, and you can watch it live on that Facebook page. And then we share it to the Get Organized Challenge page, so it shows up there eventually. All right. Sorry for all the sidelines. Let's get started, shall we? Okay. Welcome. If you're new, if you have a question, type the word question in all caps. And I think I just heard Karen come in downstairs, so she should be monitoring, and she'll answer any questions that you have. You want to do a progress post at the end of the week so that you get into the drawing, and we'll talk about that more. Also, if you've noticed, we changed the Get Organized Challenge page on the website a little bit. You used to go to the Get Organized Challenge class page, and you'd have to scroll down, scroll down, and scroll down to see all the classes. Well, now we added these 8 little blocks, one for each individual class, and you can click on that block, and then you can see previous classes if they've already happened, and then we'll load new information to each of those pages individually. We're going to add a bunch of things there that we've been asked for, things like links to blog posts and links to things that are going to help you with your catalog, which we're going to talk about with colors and tools in the next couple of weeks, and we'll get more on that. But all the links that you need and all the different downloads, so they'll each have their own little page. So if you've been to the Get Organized Challenge page and noticed it's different, hopefully it's a little bit easier to navigate that. All right, let's start with winners. Blog post winners for this week. 2 big winners. Teresa Emery Lawrence is winner number 1. And she says, I thought it was kind of funny. During my first challenge, I was surprised at how many people had taken the challenge over and over again. Yet here I am doing my second challenge. I love that the homework is in bite-sized pieces. I feel like I'm moving forward and getting things accomplished, but it's not such an overwhelming task, even though there's always more to do. On to week 4. So congratulations, Teresa, and Karen will be reaching out to you to get you your prize. And then the second post is from Linda Landis. Progress post. My son installed some shelves, my reward from last week, and moved some furniture so I could finish my paper. It's not pretty yet, but I'm getting there. I also have 2 non-Tiffany carts of solid cardstock under my table. Skipped pictures this week as I'm pretty happy and have that figured out for now. So the thing I loved about Linda's post is that she took advantage of her reward. So congratulations, Linda, on having a wonderful son who was willing to come in and put up those shelves for you. Your room is looking good. I snuck a little look at your picture. So congratulations, and again, Karen will be reaching out to you. I also need to say one other thing about the madness here, about snowpocalypse. If you're somewhere else in the country, you know that Seattle had almost a foot of snow, which is not something that's normal for us. But my amazing husband, after I got here at 6:30 in the morning and noticed everything came in here and shoveled all the snow off our roof and vacuumed up all the water in my office. So I know he's not watching today because he just left here, but I just want to shout out and say, honey, I love you and thank you for all your help. You're amazing. All right. A couple of challenges ago, we got a long email from Denise who said, please remind people in the challenge that it is set up in small pieces, kind of like our winner today too. The challenge is set up in small pieces so that you feel good about it and that you keep moving forward. And she said, sometimes I see people on the challenge who are who are overwhelmed and frustrated, and then they say how much they're trying to do. And if you just remind people, so this is your reminder, do small things. Do a tiny task and mark it off your list, and then do another tiny task and mark that off your list, and it will help your brain, and you'll feel like you're getting so much more done. So some of you have whole days that you can devote and do sort of major things, but most people have jobs and kids and family and dogs and cats and church and other commitments. So don't feel like if you're just because you're only getting a small thing done that you're not getting enough done. You absolutely are, right? Just move forward a little bit each week and you'll be doing great. So thanks, Denise, for reminding me of that. 2 ugly photo contest winners. And the first one is Cricket, I think Strebel or Strebel. She's just winning just for the gross factor. Just a rusty pickup truck loaded up with animal skins. So that was kind of, oh, you should have seen Leanne's face over there where she's just like, ugh, right? It was gross. It was a gross picture. And then Gail Walker Tennant is the second winner, and the photo that she had, it was more of a, why do you still have this? B, why did it even get printed in the first place kind of photo, right? So things we all have. I'll tell you, one of the things that happened in my office was I had these big stacks of pictures on my desk that I was getting ready to sort through, and the ones on the bottom soaked up all the water, so I was kind of pulling them apart and laying them on the floor to dry. And I have a number of pictures as I was sorting those out that I was the same thing. I'm like, why did you even spend the 17 cents to print that? It's horrible. So congratulations, ugly photo winner people. All right, I'm going to pop in a cough drop because I don't feel like my throat is going to freak out on me today, but you know that it does, right? And it's a pain. Okay. Challenge goal. Understand, get your brain around how to combine and conquer your embellishments for easy access, right? Embellishments are really hard for people to get their heads in that combine and conquer space because the common knowledge is to keep things together by type. Buttons over here, beads over here, brads, stickers, die cuts, whatever it is, right? By type of item rather than by how you're going to use it. So I want you to think about this strategy like you think about your silverware, right? If you go in your kitchen and you open the silverware drawer, all the silverware is there, right? Keep things together, you use together. When you're ready to set the table, you go to that drawer, all the silverware you need is there, you set the table. After dinner, all the silverware goes into the dishwasher. When it comes out of the dishwasher, it all goes right back into that drawer, right? Keep things together, you use together. Easy to take out, easy to use, easy to put back. Very simple. The silverware drawer is a master of organization. It hits all of those marks. Think about if you stored your silverware the way that you store your craft supplies, right? Okay, I'm going to take all my spoons and I'm going to arrange them decoratively in ball canning jars on this shelf. And then I'm going to take all my knives and I'm going to hang them in these nice little bins on this piece of grid wall over here and all these little bins. My salad forks are going to go in this beautiful basket. My dinner forks are going to go over here in this little drawer or tote, right? That's what we do with our crafting supplies. They're all over the place. If you did that with your silverware, it would be painful to set the table. It would be equally painful to put it away. So what would happen? All the silverware would come out of the dishwasher and just end up in a pile on your counter, right? So look in your craft room. Do you have a pile in your craft room right now because these are things you used and they were a pain to put away? Or things you bought and you haven't put them away yet because you weren't sure where they were going to go? If you bought a new fork or a set of forks, would you know exactly where to put them? Yes. And that is our goal with our crafting supplies. Combine and conquer, keep things together we use together. Embellishments are no exception. Now, there are some things that happen with embellishments where they don't necessarily fit together depending on what kind of a junkie you are. If you're a ribbon junkie, if you're like me and you're a washi tape junkie, how to deal with those things, and we're going to talk about that as well. So big and bulky things versus flat things and how to do that. So you have a good foundation already. You know the four-section system. You've used it on paper. You see how it works, how it's easy for your brain to get your head around that concept and remember where things are. Next thing you're going to do to get ready is gather things together, which is what we always do, right? It's always step 2. How are you going to store those things? There are tons of different ways that you can store them. Again, with my weirdness here. So, of course, I'm going to use a scrap rack to store my things. But here's a giant Ziploc bag, right? So that's one way to do it. Sorry, Leanne, I'm trying not to go too fast there. You might want to put everything in a 12 by 12 box, right? There's advantages and disadvantages to each of these. Box is easy to haul around. Ziploc bags are pretty flat and lightweight and inexpensive. And then, of course, I'm going to use a scrap rack, and you're going to see that later. But there are all different ways to put those things together. Remember, you want it to work with how you scrap, where you scrap, and when you scrap. What kind of scrapper are you? That's the question. All right. So you have your organized only zone, and so that should be ready and cleared out for whatever tool you're going to use so that you can put things in organized when you're ready to go. Also, you should have your purge box available, right? So we started with the purge box with paper, and you're going to keep that purge box in your craft room forever. It might, like we talked about, downsize as you get done with the Get Organized Challenge, but you want to make it easy on yourself as you find things in your stash that you can throw them into that purge box really easily. So you want to keep it all the time. What do you do with bulky things? Buttons, brads, beads, eyelets, those type of things. You want to condense things down. So this was a set, or is a set, sorry Leanne, try to do it this way, of 3 little jars loaded with brown and goldish embellishments, right? The third jar had all of these things in it. The jars are adorable. I'm not debating that, right? Sometimes cute just wins out. The problem is, if all of these things were mixed up together in this jar, first of all, every time I wanted to use them, I would have to dump them out and clean them back up, right? I wouldn't have any idea if I had 50 of these or 5, right? So by pulling them out and putting them into these little Ziploc bags, now they're a little bit flatter, a little bit easier to store, right? This takes up a lot of space somewhere. If you put it in a drawer, you can't see what it is because of the top of the lid. I guess you could put it in the drawer upside down, like that. But you have to remember that you have it, and you have to remember where you put it. And that's the other thing that we're battling. We want to find things quickly and easily. So browns and neutrals are where all of these things belong, right? And now they're ready to go in my scrap rack into that browns and neutrals, or in this case, these would be going into metallics. But you can see, especially in this button jar, I don't know how many big buttons, little buttons I have. So if I planned a layout and thought, oh, I'm going to use those, and then when I go looking for them, I need 5, and I only have 2 or 3, now I'm going to have to think of something else. But if I sort them out, I'm going to be in much better shape. What about this adorable little thing, right? Loaded with these beautiful little ribbons, okay? Again, I have no idea how much ribbon I have. And if this isn't stored with the rest of my metallic stuff, I might not even remember that I have it, right? So we want to do a couple of things. We want to make it easy to find what we need. We want it easy to see what we have. And we don't want to rely on our memories for where to go and get this. So if I took all these little ribbons and I wrapped them around a card, and this is just a piece of chipboard from the back of a paper pad or something, or maybe out of some packaging that I cut into a 4x6, a little smaller than the 4x6 actually, because it's going to go into my scrap rack. Now I can just wrap those ribbons around a board like this, pop them into the metallic section. I can see them right as I'm flipping through, right? I'll remember that I have them and I'll use them. And I can transport them around much easier than trying to move things around in these little bottles. So that happens on a number of levels. This little container right here was full of alphabet. This is a pretty common container. I've had several of these with different, mostly alphabets in them. But this one was full of alphabet brads that were all mixed together. So again, if I wanted to spell out a word, birthday, I would have to go through everything in here, sort them all out, and then find the letters that I wanted. So rather than that, I just sorted them, all the B's. This is A's and B's, C's and D's. So I have about a dozen little Ziploc bags with all the brads in them. And now I can put them in my alphabet section, and when I want to spell something out, I can know at a glance that I have B's and I's and R's and T's and H and D and A and Y quickly and easily, and I can spell out that word. So there's a lot of benefit to separating things, especially if they're small like this. Sometimes we buy those giant things of bling that are all mixed colors, and then you have to just decide if you're going to commit the time to sorting the whole thing. Personally, I love sorting, so it's kind of joyful for me, but it's a great job for kids also, right? If you have kids or grandkids, sorting things by color is easy for them, and it's objective, so it's not like you're trying to get them to sort something that you would have a different opinion than them, so you could do that. But depending on where you are in the organization process and how much time you have, you may just want to take a scoop of those beads or those bling and just sort a few of them, and know that you have more of them in that big jar until you get time to sort the big jar, right? But what you want to do is get some of them at least into your rainbow section so that you remember that you've got them and where they are, and that'll drive you back to use them, right? Super cute, little can full of flowers. Again, how do I know what's in there, right? So well, the can is adorable. I already kind of sorted these because I did some photos with them, so they were kind of all mixed up in there, but I'm going to add them to my rainbow section. But now if I do that, I can see what colors I have, what sizes I have, what shapes I have, versus having to pull this can off the shelf, dump all the flowers out, and then, you know, pick through and see if the ones that I want or the sizes and shapes that I want are in there. So I already pre-sorted these. They don't come like that when you buy them, sorry. That would be nice, it'd be a little easier, right? But no, they don't. They come all mixed up and beautiful when you buy them. It's how we get enticed into them. All right, so you're going to figure out some ways to organize things that are big and bulky, right? Ribbon, washi tape, that type of thing. I'm going to show you a little. So this is kind of a crossover between the embellishment class and the color class. So how you think about washi tape, is it an embellishment or is it a color? It's kind of a crossover. But I made this little washi tape cheat sheet. All my red and pink washi tape is listed on there. It's in drawer D8 of my Stash and Store box right here. So all those washi tapes, I can put this in my rainbow section and at a glance know where they are in drawer D8, and I can go to that drawer in my 5 drawer, pull it out, and then find the color that I want in there, the washi tape color that I want in there. So it's kind of a crossover for what we're going to do when we do the color challenge with making catalogs. But for this challenge, if you're thinking my washi tape is an embellishment and you're a junkie like I am, then making a little catalog of it is quick, fast, and easy. This is I just did it on 8.5 by 11 paper. I put it in a regular, 3-ring Office Depot page protector, and I'm going to put it in my scrap rack in the rainbow section. Right? So simple, easy. All right. So once you know how you're going to store your things, you're going to need to get some tools on hand, which I had a pile right here. Here it is. I know. Do you guys love it that I'm always holding up clear things? So tiny Ziploc bags, we sell them on our website. You can buy them other places as well, but they're super helpful when you're organizing small embellishments, right? So if you have just a few buttons like this, can't see them, can you? You want to keep them all together. Small Ziploc bag into your scrap rack, or if you're using, I know some of you use those 12 by 12 clear boxes. Leanne, could you hand me that clear box that's over there? Thank you, ma'am. So some of you are organizing, your sections or whatever in a like 12 by 12 clear box like this, and then if this is your orange box, you're just going to be able to throw those in there. You don't want to throw them in all loose. Why? Because you won't know how many you have, and then when you need them, you'll have to paw through the whole box. So tiny Ziploc bags are great for everything, including things that you might not think of, like glitter. Okay? So if you like to use glitter, or if you own glitter and you're not using it, maybe it's because you don't remember it or you don't know where to find it. So take a little Ziploc bag, fill it with glitter, put that in your, in this case, the rainbow green section. And now, when you're working on a project, you're going to see it in green. This is enough glitter to glitter the world right here, right? Glitter goes a long way. So you can pour it out of a big jar, keep it in your rainbow section. When you get low on the green glitter, you can go back to your big jar and refill it from the big jar and just pop back in. Keep in mind that the things you see, the things that are in front of you, and the things that are accessible to you are the things that you're going to use. So if you have a big jar of green glitter and it's in a cupboard with the door closed behind 3 other jars of other colors of glitter, first you're going to have to remember that you have it. Then you're going to have to remember where it is, and then you're going to have to go get it. Or you can just, every time you buy glitter, add a little baggie of it to your rainbow section and remember that you've got it. All right. So how are you going to do it? How are you going to sort? Well, it's so simple because you already understand the 4-section system. For those of you who are just jumping in on this class, you want to read up on the 4-section system, and then this will all make more sense. So there's a link on the Get Organized Challenge page. So I made these mini sorting templates, right? I'm suggesting that you use 12 by 18 inch paper from the children's department, art department of the dollar store. I made little ones because if I'm doing a demo, it's easier to show them. But you're just going to take your sorting templates, and hopefully you have a little bigger workspace than I'm working with here. You're going to lay them out on your workspace. You're going to choose one container, right? So what's a container? A container is a bin, a shoebox, a can, a bottle. One container at a time. Why do I want you to work through one container at a time? Because it's great for your brain. Number one, when you do something from start to finish, your brain loves that. So that's the number one thing. The second thing is, life is busy. And if you think, oh, I'm going to organize every embellishment in my room today, and you start making this huge mess, and then all of a sudden, you get a call from your kid's school, or you get a call from work, or something goes sideways, and you have to stop what you're doing. Now you have this huge mess wherever you've made it, in your dining room, in your craft room, wherever. And the chances that you're going to end up scooping all that stuff together, throwing it into a big tub, and thinking, I'll get back to that later, those are high. The chance of that happening is high, that you get distracted. When you work in a small thing, a small group, or a small project, you get it done from start to finish, and then you start the next one. So if I sorted all these flowers and put them away, then I could start again on my next thing, put that away. But if I get called away in the middle of sorting my next thing, it's only one small thing, right? So I can probably leave it out because it's smaller. Or even if I do have to scoop it all together, it's a small thing to restart. So there's a lot of benefits to working small. It's hard to do when you're excited about something and you're moving forward with the project and you just think, oh yeah, I'm just going to do so much. But don't let yourself get caught in that huge big mess that ends up in a big pile somewhere. And that happens for everything. It doesn't matter if you're cleaning out your closet. How many of you have started a cleaning out your closet project and then you didn't get to finish, so you have this big pile of stuff in the corner in the closet that's going to go to the Goodwill? And it just sits there for months because you think, oh, I'm not going to take it until I finish the closet project, right? Pick it up, put it in the Goodwill bag, get it out the door. Same thing. Work your closet in one rack at a time, or your shoes. I'm only doing shoes this time, or whatever. Small groups, get them out the door. I'm going to tell you one of the greatest things about where our warehouse is located. There is a Goodwill 3 blocks from here. So literally I drive by it on my way home. If I have a Goodwill bag, it makes it super simple to drop off. So find a donation spot that you like to drop things off, or that's convenient to drop things off, and you'll do that more also. Okay, so what are we going to do? You're going to spread out your sorting templates. Sorry for the, what was that digression there? And then you're going to start with whatever it is. So I've got this group here, this bunch here of embellishments, and I'm going to be able to sort them blues and greens. So that's going to go on the blue and green template. So this is the packaging. This is the packaging that these little clips came in, right? I just cut the top off of it, and then I can keep them all together and slide them into a pocket in my scrap rack. So it makes it super simple. We also make these little pockets. They're called die, stamp, and supply pockets. They come in 3 sizes. They do have a little lip that folds, that tucks in, so it does add a little bit more protection to your supplies. But so like in this case, these are dimensional stickers. So if I was smarter at the time, I would have just cut the top off this, and then I would have had the little pocket that they came in. This does give me a little bit more protection. But you know, dimensional stickers, whether you're storing them in your scrap rack or you're throwing them into a box with everything else, they get hung up on everything else and they get destroyed. So it just adds a layer of protection. Put them into something or leave them in the packaging, right, so that you get that. So this is going to go in green. These are birthday gifts. That's going to go there. Green glitter. Reds and pinks, right? So whatever container you're sorting, you've got your sorting templates spread out. Happy birthday hat, happy birthday die-cut cupcake, happy birthday tag, boom. I don't have my yellow sorter out here. So I've got green, I've got pink, more pink, so a flower, foam flower. This is just a little card, right? This is actually if you do artist trading cards, so that's what this size is, but it's a great little frame. But it's just pink, so it's going to go in my pinks and red section. I have some flowers here that I die cut and didn't use. They're blue. They're going in blue and green. Blue and green. Look at this. This is a border die also that I cut, and I didn't actually use it on the project. Well, I can put it right into my blue and green section. Now I'm going to see it, I'm going to remember that I have it, and hopefully I'm going to use it. This is right there in front of me. And then fall, I've just got my little, boom, there it goes. Let me get these out of the way. I don't have alphabets and number things laid out either. So now I can work from each one of these piles, and I can put those things away in my scrap rack. Oh. I'm going to move these out of the way for a minute. Probably can't see that anyway, can you, Lee? You can? You're amazing. So now I can just go through it. Well, here's my alphabets and numbers section. So I'm going to take these brads and I'm going to put them right in there. I don't have my glasses on, but I should. So this is where the small shut your flap tabs come in handy. Is when you put the small shut your flap tabs on your pages of your, I'm putting those in backwards. A goes before C. So now I can see all of these little brads when I'm going to work with them. I see some shut your flap tabs. So these are the large shut your flap tabs. But instead of having to search for the flap, right, because it's all clear, when you have the shut your flap tabs on there, they push the flaps closed so that your flaps don't end up getting folded back and stuck like that. But then they also kind of give you a way to lift that flap to find that flap. Okay, so next up I've got birthday things. So I'm going to go to themes and sentiments, which is kind of in the wrong place at the moment. I'm going to find my birthday stuff. I'm going to take these guys. No, I'm going to take these guys. I'm going to pop them into a pocket here. There's my tags. This guy goes back. So especially if you've been working on a project and you took some, my little ribbons are getting hung up, and you took all these pieces out to work on a project, now look how easy it is to put it back, because your brain just has to say, oh, these are birthday things. They're going to go in my birthday section of my scrap rack or in my birthday box or whatever, however it is your, whatever tool it is that you're using. But it just makes it simple to put new things away, or things that you've used, or after you do the big sort, how to go through and put things away in the big sort as well, right? So I'm just going to work from section to section, reds and green, or reds and pinks, blues and greens, and I'm going to put things away as I go. Holiday, right? Super simple. When this is clear, then I'm going to start my next box, bin, drawer, tote, basket, whatever it is that I have things sorted into. It doesn't matter if they're rainbow, if they're holiday, or if they're themes and sentiments, they're still going to go on whatever sorting template is right, and then into your scrap rack or your boxes or whatever you're using to store your supplies. Okay. If you're a junkie about something, so I hate to confess about my washi tape addiction, right? I have all this washi tape in the box, right, that I showed you in my stash and store box. If you need to travel with your washi tape, you can do the same thing, put it in a tote like this or in a different type of box, create your catalog and just say where it is. So whether this is on your tote, you know, mine says D8 for that's the drawer that it's in, but your note right here might say, oh, it's in my 1.5 inch punch pack, ready to go, right? So there's it's the same idea, you just need to drive yourself back to it. Putting this in your 4-section system is going to say, oh yeah, I do have that. That's what it looks like. One of the nice things about doing this with washi tape is that you can actually see what the patterns look like, and especially if there's multiple colors. So when you put it on the white background, you really get to see, you know, washi tape is see-through. Most of it is see-through to some degree. So this gives you a good idea of what that looks like, and also reminds you how much washi tape you have so that you can find it and then you can use it. All right. This is very, oh, one thing that came up yesterday, oh, I'll show you something else. Oh, one thing that came up was one of you, I'm sorry I didn't write down your name, sent in some information about finding, when we do the color stuff, finding all of the color things for Ranger, who is Tim Holtz and Stickles and a bunch of other brands. And that inspired me. That's why we made the changes and added all those. We're going to add those all to the Get Organized Challenge pages that I was talking about earlier on the website. So as we're going through the challenges, if you have links to, we're going to talk, is colors next week or tool? I think colors is next week. So we'll talk about colors in particular. But if you have links to the grids for Copic or Sukaneko or Memento or any of those companies, we're going to compile those all on that page of the website. So send them to us at customer service at totally-tiffany.com and we'll get them up there for future use. So this is what I call my Flower Power binder, right? And why is this separate from my scrap rack? Because I make cards at home, thank you cards at home, and what I use on my thank you cards is pretty generic. It's washi tape and flowers. Well, the occasional bling too. There's some bling in here. But when I'm working on those, I just want to take my Ditto tool bag that has all the tools that I use for those cards, all the card blanks, envelopes, all that kind of thing in it. And this is all I take with me when I'm working on that, right? This is project specific so that I can have the colored flowers that I need and this little bit of embellishments that I need for that particular project. And that's why it's separated out like this. I get tons of questions about it. There's a post up even on the website about why I did it, how I did it. But it does make it really simple, and I've just used one of our 12x12 binders, and then the straight 8 scrap rack page. This is Fantastic 5. And then Trader's 12, which is the 12 pocket page, which is the other page style that I have in here. So just a great way to easily organize. And this specific to a project that I do that I'm using all the time. Now, the other thing is I could pull this out and put it right in my rainbow section so that if I was going to work with this at the office, I could have it right on my rainbow section, have access to it, still be able to take it with me when I was going to go home and work, although generally it goes home with me. But that's what these flowers are for, so I'm going to add them to that after I get them sorted out. All right, so everything's the same. It's stickers, it's die cuts, it's brads, it's beads, it's glitter, anything like that that's part of that you consider an embellishment. Now some people consider, like I said, washi tape as a color thing or glitter as a color thing, and we'll talk about those things again when we do the color class, but they do kind of cross over, whether they're something you're using to color your page or something that you're using as an embellishment. Oops. I clicked the wrong thing and got a crazy grid. Okay, so you've got your sorting templates, which you made using your themes and sentiments list. And you have everything you need. You decided on your storage tools. You have little Ziploc bags if that's what you need. And you're ready to just go, right? So you're going to sort one container at a time, start to finish, and put it away. Whatever tool you're using, put it away. All right? It's going to go into your 4-section system, whether that's a scrap rack or boxes, bins, drawers, tote, whatever you're using. That's going to go up in that order. I got ahead of my presentation again. Talked about why we're doing one container at a time. Okay, so that's it, right? We have this great foundation, the 4-section system. In your mind this week, you want to really think about combine and conquer, keep things together, I use together. There is a blog post up that I think we probably posted some links to already. One of the things that people really struggle with is the rainbow section, right? Putting my flowers and my baker's twine and my bling all in one place, because that isn't what the common solution is. Commonly, it's like put your bling over here, eyelets here, buttons here, whatever, all separated, right? So it's hard to get your brain around. So there is a blog post called 5 Reasons to Embrace the Rainbow that might sort of answer some of those questions for you or help you sort of make that move into actually putting all your things together by color. So this week's challenge, are you ready? Sort and store one container a day for 4 of the next 7 days, right? So you got to get 4 containers done this week. That's your goal. If you're still sorting photos, excuse me, you want to sort 1 more year of photos, 2 years if you've recruited help. If you're still sorting paper, another 4 to 6 inches of paper. And then you definitely want to post on Facebook so that you have an opportunity to win one of our 2 weekly gift certificate prizes. So that is the progress post, and you can put that up on Facebook, or you can email it to customer service at totally-tiffany.com, progress post in the subject line. If you're not currently on our email list, we do send out an email before class and an email after class that has all the details and links and all that kind of thing in the email. So if you want to join the email list, you're going to get that email. Speaking of that, I want to talk about one other thing. Friday is Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day, everyone. But Valentine's Day is an annual sale for us called Love to Organize. So the Love to Organize sale is a 24-hour sale. We generally have a few smoking deals. And then there's also an additional coupon code that you can use. You can't use your GOC code, but you can use the code that's going to come out in the email on Valentine's Day. So the sale will start at midnight Pacific time, and that is when the email comes out. So for those of you who are already in bed at midnight, check your email in the morning, and you'll know what the sale specials are, as well as what the coupon code is for the added discount on. Here's how it's set up. There's going to be items on the website. Well, I can't tell you. Oh, it's a secret. Sorry, you got to check the email. So Thursday, right? Thursday's the 14th. So get yourselves ready, because that's a big sale day. So if you're looking at product this week, you might want to hold off and buy it on Thursday. Okay, I don't hear Karen coming upstairs with any. Oh, Leanne's nodding. Yeah, here she is. Coming. Yeah, be on it. Say hi. Put your face in. Say hello. No. So Karen says no makeup. She's not popping in today, because Karen, who knows how to do everything that we do here, because she has worked literally every job here, is in her warehouse wear today, because with the snow and everything, we're way behind. So she's out there helping in the warehouse. She's amazing. All right, Cindy says, love your table. What is it called and where can it be found? I don't remember what it's called. It is from IKEA. Again, my darling, adorable, super talented, mega handy husband put it on wheels for me, so it's easy to roll it around, which is great. It's not a great work table, though, because it's only about maybe 18 or 20 inches wide. So from that perspective, I'm not sure that it's a good work table, although, I mean, you could, it's cute, though. Thank you for that. I mean, I think it's cute, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it, right? But I don't think it's a good work table, but it's from IKEA. Diane says, I have a number of 12 by 12 sheets of stickers and or cardstock stickers. The ones that only have alphas and words, I store in my alphabet section, but what about the ones that have more than just alphas and words, which I guess could be cut apart, not chipboard stickers? How do I handle those? So traditionally, or most commonly, when you have something that has other things on it, they're themed oriented, right? So you might have something that says that's like bright colored alphabet letters, and then the bottom half of the chipboard stickers or the sticker sheet says happy birthday, you know, let's party, wishing you the best, whatever, right? It's generally, if when you look at it, it's generally a theme. Sometimes it's holiday, it's all Christmas stuff. Sometimes it's color, right? So it could just be all blue, and then the words at the bottom might be, I don't know, things like generic things. Celebrate, awesome, congratulations. I guess all of those things are more like celebration, right? They're more like birthday. But when I'm trying to think if I have anything that fits that category. 99 times out of 100, you are going to find that things that are mixed together generally have some type of theme, right? It could be, I have this big set of stamps that has some Christmas greetings on it, and then it has birds, but when you look at the birds, they're Christmas birds, they're cardinals, and it has holly and trees on it, and it's all Christmas, right? So I never advise people doing extra work and cutting things apart and separating things, but so take those stickers, if they are complete, like just what I call WOW, words of wisdom, which are just generic words and then letters, and just put them at the back of I have a section called Words of Wisdom, and it's obviously it starts with W, so it's at the back of my theme section, and I would just store them right there, because the odds are that the alphabet is, sorry, we've sprung a leak here. I'm sure you were all like, what is she looking at? There's water dripping from the ceiling. So my computer is in the dry zone. That's all that matters. So so they're together, and you're going to see them, right? So put them back with the words, and then when you use up the word stickers, you could move them into your alphabet section as well. You could put a note in your alphabet section that says, hey, there's more alphabet stickers in the words of wisdom. But generally, they're going to be, let's see if I have anything like that, actually. So, well, so this is kind of a good example, right? Sort of, I guess. So these are chipboard stickers, and they have, you know, some things on here that are just generic colors that could be used anywhere. But when you start reading what's actually printed on them, they are things like eat cake, party, wish, right? So they're all birthday things in general, right? So even though there is some crossover and a little bit of generic stuff, they all look the same. They're all going to go together the same. They're all the same color palette. So I'm going to keep them all together in the birthday section. And then if at some point I have just like these little generic guys left, I might move them at some point. But in general, they're all just going to go right here in birthday. I was trying to think if I had anything else that might be kind of a crossover. But like this is all holiday. So the things I've got in holiday. Also, if you're watching me turn my pages, it's a big no-no to turn your scrap rack pages from the bottom if you have heavy stuff on the top, right? You should always turn your scrap rack pages from the top corner, because then you're not going to flip things upside down. I leave a lot of stuff sticking out of my pockets like this, so if I flip my page upside down, those things might escape. So if your little flaps, or if you tuck your flaps behind your stuff so it's easy to get to, You want to turn always from the upper corner. Even if you have your things, see here's some stuff just sticking out too. Even if you have your things in one of the binders, the 12 by 12 binder, when you open that binder, if you turn from the upper corner, it's going to keep everything in the bottom of the pocket. But again, flaps over, some little tips, some little scrap rack tips. When you put things in pockets, choose your pockets so that the flaps can go over, but the product goes all the way up behind the flap. And that way, if that tries to slide out, it's going to slide up against the flap, and it's not going to come out, right? So there's our scrap rack tips for the day. Sorry, a little bit of a side note. So I hope I answered your question, Diane. Catherine Kelly says, mixed media, say jelly prints you might use on a layout, cards, etc. Is it an embellishment or a base? Do I store with a rainbow? I would definitely store with a rainbow. I mean, if you've created those things by color, I would definitely store them with the rainbow, unless, of course, you've done one specifically for a birthday project or, ancestry project or whatever, in which case that's probably going to end up in your project. Yeah, I'm going to say color is the best way, unless it's specific for something. So keep things together you use together. If you made something specific, it's going to go with that, like project kit or whatever. But in general, I would put them right in your rainbow section so that you do see them. If you store your card blanks separately, right, and it's a card, and you've created a card blank, then I mean these are in grouped together by color as well. So I might put it in there if it was for a card blank. But if it's just something that you're going to use as a background or an accent piece, I'd put it in the rainbow. Cindy, last week you spoke of We Are Memory Keepers tab punch, and you spoke of the index tab keepers. Where can these be purchased? I think they sell them at Michael's. They definitely sell them online. And Leanne, can you go in my pink Ditto bag that's usually on my desk? I don't know if it still is in there. We might have moved it. In one right end of it, there's a whole little stack of things in package there for the tab punch. Can you see if you can find those? And I'll give you the SKU number, or at least what it's actually called, and then it'll be easier to find. I buy them from We Are Memory Keepers, American Crafts website, and so if you have this SKU, it'll be easy to search for. They're a little bit, I love them, but they're a little bit tricky to use. They're super heavy. Well, I shouldn't say super heavy. They're a very heavy, good quality plastic. I think that as I use them, so they are called, this is what they look like, and I'm assuming they're going to have them at Michael's because they sell the tab punch there. They are, the only number on the back is 42377-5, and they're just called tab stickers, I guess. But, open them. So they come two on a sheet like this. You can't see them, I know that. But what I would do now after using them is I would, gotta get right in the right light, pre-fold them like this. Maybe it says to do it in the instructions. One of the beautiful things about We Are is that they always include great instructions for all of their products. So it probably says that on the back, that that's what you're supposed to do. But it just makes it easier to then fold them over. And I didn't do that. I just stuck the colored tabs on there and then kind of struggled to get them folded over. You think maybe I would have realized that long before I made 30 tabs for my thing. But those are them. 42377-5. We Are Memory Keepers tab stickers. But they work great. You'll love them. Thanks for asking. I love We Are Memory Keepers. Well, I like everything from American Crafts, right? They have the coolest stuff. But We Are Memory Keepers, they do a great job with tools. And like I said, giving you instructions and how to do the step-by-step on stuff. They're really good at that. L Painter, where do things like small wooden clothespins go and Velcro dots, magnetic dots? I think of them like embellishments, but maybe they are tools. They're probably embellishments, and they just need to go. So wooden clothespins, what are you going to use those for, right? Those are going to be more than likely a rainbow item. So I have if I'm reading you correctly. Let me see if I have those in this. This is a demo kit, so I actually own little cute, adorable wooden clothespins. Of course, they're not in this one. They're probably in my scrap rack in the other room. And I just put them, they're green and orange and purple. They match all my Halloween stuff. So they're just in Halloween, right? They're tiny. So anything that's going to fit into whatever tool you're using, you want to keep those things together. So if they're wooden clothespins and they're just plain brown wood and you're going to paint them or stick things on them, I would just put them in browns and neutrals, right into your rainbow section in browns and neutrals. Magnetic dots and Velcro dots, I don't know if those are adhesive things that you stick on other things. Obviously, if they're Velcro dots that are Halloween or they're colored or whatever, they're just going to go right into that section. If they are Velcro dots and magnetic dots that are more like glue dots that you're going to attach to other things, then I would put them definitely, I don't have that in here, I would put them right in with my adhesives if that's how you use them. So if they're an actual embellishment, they're going to go right on the page as they are. Put them in your 4-section system. If they're something that you're affixing to something else to make it Velcro or magnet to another thing, then put them in with your adhesives, right? Both of those are going to adhere things to other things. So that would be my suggestion there. All right, I think that's all. That's all the questions for this week. So this is a fun week. It's fun because there's all these colors. I want one of the things that's really great about embellishments is once you get them organized, they're beautiful and fun to look at, right? If you can look through your embellishments, especially the rainbow, and you just sort of feel calm and inspired, motivated to create something, then, I mean, it's just a whole nother level of joy that you just like, oh, that's so pretty. It just makes you feel good, right? So embrace the rainbow, everybody. All right, your challenge for the week. And I'll talk after we do this about products really quickly. This week's challenge, sort, store, organize 1 container a day for 4 of the next 7 days. So 4 containers this week of embellishments. Sort 1 year of photos. If you get a helper, sort 2. Sort 4 to 6 inches of paper if you're still working on paper. Post your progress on Facebook. And then definitely, like our progress post winner reminded us this week, take advantage of whatever your reward was. Or don't take advantage of it. Execute your reward. You earned it. You want to celebrate that as well. All right, everybody, have a great week. I will see you next Tuesday. Don't forget your progress posts. And I guess that's it. Watch for your email with follow-up. And we'll see you next Tuesday. And those of you who are going to stick around for products, let's get started. Okay. Product storage. What did I talk about today? What did I show you a little bit of today? First thing is the punch packs or stamp store and go bags, right? These come in 3 different depths. I'm sorry, I only have the one. This is the 1.5 inch that I have this, a rainbow of washi tape. Now these are 8.5 by 11. No, 8.5 by 11. All of them are the interior tray. Right, so this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that I just printed landscape because it's the right length, landscape, and then I printed 2, and you can put 1 on each side of your bag to label your bag. So just a little trick there. So great for washi tape or other small. If you buy micro ribbons, it's a great little storage tool for that as well. So stamp store and go bags, also known as punch packs. They come in 3 different depths and great for, like I said, small spools of things. Next up, we didn't talk too much about ribbon, but did I also have Leanne again? Yes. So again, ribbon, if you're a ribbon junkie, right, so this is all Easter ribbon. Sorry. Leanne gets on camera by force. Right, so this is a stash and store box. It's 3 drawers, and it's designed to hold ribbon. And again, I'm going to encourage you to organize your boxes the same way. So this might be all of your holiday ribbon. It might be all of your Easter ribbon if you're a junkie. The goal is, oh, I'm working on Easter. You can put an example of your ribbon into your 4-section system, or you can just put a note in your 4-section system that says, don't forget that you have ribbon for Easter, right? If you're a ribbon junkie, one of the things that works really well are those large, flat, under the bed, they're about 3 inches deep, plastic boxes, right? Because if you can, especially if you want to get the short one, because you want to be able to see everything, right? But you're going to use the same technique. I'm not supposed to be talking about other people's products, Emma. I'm supposed to be talking about our products. But if you're a junkie, those big flat under the bed storage totes work great because you can still organize. This is all of my Easter, Halloween, rainbow, themes, all those ribbons in that way. And when you take the lid off, you can see all of them. So if you're a junkie, that's a great solution. All right, I'm going to get back on track now. Right? So stash and store box. This is called the ribbon storage box, 3-drawer ribbon tower. You can also easily store ribbon. Again, this is spring ribbon, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. This is just the Edna Buddy bag. So if you're not a huge ribbon junkie, or you just have a few ribbons for each holiday or event or rainbow, the Edna Buddy bag is a great choice for storing ribbon. I don't have any ribbons in here that are open. Or do I? You can also kind of use her as a dispenser. Take this out, pop this in. I'm sorry for the mess. It's hard to be in the wrong space. So so if you've opened or started unwinding one, you can leave a little tab out, and then when you need more, you can just pull it out to what you need, right? So she kind of acts like a ribbon dispenser as well, which is great, especially if you don't have tons of ribbon. So that's the 3-drawer ribbon tower. The other box that I talked about today was the 5-drawer, and that is the one that I have washi tape in. So all of them come with these little cardboard dividers, and they're just sitting in there. So if you want to maximize your space, you can take the dividers out, and then the divider space becomes space that you can use for washi tape or whatever else you're putting in there. Or you can leave the dividers in. They're also perforated, so if you only want one divider, you can just rip off what you want and use them in there. So this is the Stash and Store 5-drawer supply case. So great for washi tape. It was born for washi tape, actually. I mean, when I became a washi tape junkie, that was the first, like, oh, I need somewhere to put it all that I can see it, and that was it. The nice thing about the Stash and Store boxes, regardless of, there's 3 different designs of them, you can take the whole drawer out and bring it to your workspace and use it like a tray. So if you have this small dauber inks, right, that you want to keep them all together, or Stickles bottle, well, Stickles bottles don't fit in this one, but it's easy to, they fit in the 7-drawer, which we'll talk about next week, but it's easy to just bring that tray out, work out of the tray, and then pop it right back in when you're done with it, right? So super simple. Next up, what did we talk about? What did I show you? I showed you our, this is the 12 by 12 fab file. I just lost my mic. You still have a green light? Woo. Can you still hear me? It's magic. Okay, so this is the 12 by 12 fab file. Has a little handle on the top, has the locking flap on it. This one is full of pockets of little goodies. So if you're grouping everything together, especially if you work, this is an okay solution if you mostly work with flat things. So I get a lot of email from people who just use paper and stickers and die cuts. They don't like any dimension on their pages. So this would be an okay solution for something like that. I talked about the Flower Power binder. So this is the 12 by 12 craft binder, 12 by 12 craft supply binder, and then a variety of scrap rack pages You could add dividers to it if you wanted to do that as well, but that's got all of those embellishments together. The 12 by 12 supply binder, if you're not using a scrap rack and you're thinking, the scrap rack looks like a good option, I don't know if I'm ready to commit. If you start with a 12 by 12 craft binder and some scrap rack pages, and you love this system, the nice thing about this is the 3-ring section inside it, this binder comes out. It's also on hook and loop fabric. So the pages and the binder all are going to fit on your base unit. So everything goes back and forth really easily. So if you start with a few of these and then you decide you want a scrap rack base, you can buy the base, take the binders out, and add them to it. So there's a lot of crossover there. People love the 12 by 12 binder for taking just a section with them when they go to a crafting event, or if you're going to a store, if you're working, let's say you're working on Disney and you want to go to the scrapbook store and buy more Disney embellishments or paper to match what you're working on. The nice thing about that is you could pull that Disney section off your scrap rack, put it into the 12 by 12 binder, and literally take everything you already have for Disney with you to the store, and then you can match up the perfect reds and yellows or princess pinks or blues, or whatever the colors are that you're working with. You have your embellishments and the things you've already purchased, and now you can match up paper and additional embellishments really easily, and then when you go home you can just put it all right back on your scrap rack. Okay, so obviously the scrap rack is the thing that I use for, to keep all my embellishments in, so that's kind of a no-brainer. You've seen that. The best pages for embellishments totally depend on what kind of embellishments you're using, right? So the scrap rack pages are all designed, around what's out there in the market, things that are 4 by 6 and 5 by 7, and the different, the 12 by 12, obviously 12 by 12, but then the small, like 3 by 4 stuff. So there's pockets for all the different sizes that you use. One of the pages that people love for embellishments is what's called the embellishment storage page, and this is a double-sided page, right? It has, I think this side's a little easier to see. Each pocket has this little flap on it that locks down right through a slit in the pocket. And so these pockets gusset out. People love them for big, bulky, heavy embellishments. You can see I've got a variety of stuff in there. Between the two sides, there's also a pocket. So on the red side, I put in some red paper, red scrap. And on the pink side, I put pink paper. So it just kind of makes that pop a little bit more. So you've got that extra pocket in the middle. So this is the embellishment storage page. Because it pops out a little bit, you can actually use it for some, well, a majority of washi tape, right? So this is all loaded with washi tape. Obviously, if you're using washi tape that's an inch thick, it's not going to fit in there, but the thinner ones are going to fit in there no problem. So even if you just had a couple of rolls of red or pink and you wanted to incorporate it in with your red or pink embellishment storage page, the embellishment storage page is going to be perfect for that. Again, it's a little bit heavier plastic, standard 3-hole punch down the side, so it's going to fit in. Well, it's probably too wide for a normal binder also. It is not 12 by 12 because of the weight of it. This one, I believe, is only 9 inches across, which is too big for a regular binder, but easy to put in your scrap rack. These do have the tab at the top instead of on the side because they are not wide enough. So the tabs for these are going to stick off the top, whether you're using a binder or your scrap rack for that. Okay, so what else do I need to talk about? I talked a little bit about Ziploc bags, right? Tiny Ziploc bags available by the hundreds on our website. You can find them on the embellishment organizers page, what we have in those. Again, you can get them from us, and if you're already ordering, but you can buy them anywhere. It's just a matter of getting the size that you need. Not anywhere. You can buy them at other places besides us, but they do come in a variety of sizes. I'm looking around. Did I miss anything, Leanne? Do you see anything that I didn't talk about? If you have, one thing, and it's out in my car because I was working on it at home this weekend. Are there any Dawn Buddy bags over there in those? I think it would be. Is there one? Yeah, that's her. Oh, So one of the things that I'm working on right now are things to help people who sew get organized. And one of the great uses I found for the Dawn Buddy Bag, so if you're unfamiliar with Dawn, she has 4 little boxes on the inside, 4 separate boxes, and then she has 2 levels of loop fabric, and the hook is over here. And one of the things that she fits very nicely are buttons, right? The little button cards. Buttons kind of come in standard size packaging, a variety of different manufacturers, but they're all about the same size. And so they fit, let me see if I have something that's going to fit in there now. So they're about this size. Shoot, I should have brought that up. They're about this size. And so they kind of stand up this way, like a file, like a long file of button. So if you were going to put your embellishments in a little narrow Ziploc bag like this, I think this is the 2x5-inch Ziploc bag that we carry, you can create a little file of them this way. If you sew, you might want to store your sewing buttons like that. And I'll try to put up a little blog post about what I'm working on, because what I actually did, the ones that I put in Ziploc bags, the ones that weren't on the cards, I actually put a card right in. I cut the size, I put the card right in the Ziploc bag, and that really created that little sort of file for me. And then I could write on the card. I need little dividers, of course, little whatever. But the Dawn bag might be a good option also for getting your small little Ziploc bags of embellishments organized, especially in the rainbow. All right, I think that wraps it up. Again, if you have questions about what products to use, you know what? I'm going to scroll down my page here. Let's see. No, looks like I got everything that's on there. Okay. You can always email us, customer service at totally-tiffany.com, and also post up on the Facebook group. One of the nice things about the group is there's always somebody there, and there's a lot of crafters with a lot of product knowledge, so they'll be able to suggest things to you as well, and then tell you how they use them or why they like them, which is also helpful. All right, crafters, have a great week, and I will see you all next Tuesday for Get Organized Challenge number 5.